What's going on, guys? This is the DeFi Crypto Alliance show where we are doing our best to be the bridge between our fellow real estate investors and entrepreneurs alike and the cryptocurrency world where crypto is the biggest opportunity over the next few years. It's not even close. So, welcome along on the journey. Corey, take it away.
Absolutely. Corey Geary here, and I'm just truly blessed to be on this journey with all you guys where we're going to use cryptocurrency as that wealth creation tool and use real estate as a wealth preservation tool. And we thank you guys so much for still attending our show. We've been super busy lately, off and on, going to events. It's been an absolute blast. Guys, we onboarded like crazy at the last event. It was an absolute success for me and Dane, and actually Dylan from the Fiat team came with us. So it was an absolute blast. So guys, we appreciate all you guys who follow us. You guys make this show. And yeah, it's been a lot of fun. And what are your thoughts, Dane, of the recent dump?
Man, I tell you, so I think that shout out to Crypto Sloth. He mentioned this on our private group last night, where it feels like there's a divergence of sorts coming, where you're seeing builders build on Pulse Chain. You're seeing numbers like with Fame, where the fees are only increasing there with very limited users. You're seeing new protocols launch and price continues to go down. It feels like a bullish divergence, in my opinion, where price is not reflecting a lot of the cool things that are going on Pulse Chain right now. And kind of like we see with just about all of crypto, there's turns to this. Not everybody gets to go to the moon all at once. Everybody has to
No.
take their turn. So I feel like we're just waiting for our turn. In fact, we got our turn a little bit early a few weeks ago, and we had that parabolic move over, I think it's like 9 days, where Pulse Chain went and I think doubled over that period, and Hex and PulseX, everything was cooking. And then we see a drawdown. I still think there's apparently plenty of weak hands to wash out. There's plenty of people that, frankly, were sitting on huge Hex bags near the top in the last bull run. They saw what those Hex bags were worth, and I think some of them are still like, they're feeling the pain and they're willing to sell off, those bags now. We saw it happen yesterday. And so you need some more of the washing machine, apparently, to wash more of those people out so that we can go up higher. What do you think, Corey?
Absolutely. Let me share my screen. Actually, I can do this on stream myself. I'm so used to being on Zoom.
I know, right?
Let me share screen and
look at that. Thanks for everybody tuning in while Corey's bringing up his screen. We got tons of the faithful guys. We have not been streaming very consistently as of late because we've been talking to big guys like Brad Lee and Wes Watson and some of those. It's been wild. So we're doing our best, and our calendar, you guys should see them back to back to back to back to back all day, almost every single day. And unfortunately, some of that bleeds into the show. So we appreciate you guys being here. You guys make the show what it is. Some of you guys clear out from different parts of the world than we are, in from Sweden. Welcome, guys. Kai's is here. Super Snake, Joe, Drew. Yeah, we appreciate all you guys being here.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, this is a great chart.
So I love this. And guys, if you know who did this, give them credit in the comments. I did not create this chart. I'm not smart enough with markets to create this chart. But it's really ironic how this really lines up with the Wall Street stock market chart, where you have the different cycles in your market cycle, right? And so, like, being that Pulse Chain as a whole was delayed into the middle of the bear market. Actually, to me, it came out early. But obviously, if you ask other people, they would have said it's 2 years. It was 2 years late, depending on how you look at it. But this really represents what we're going through. And I feel like, man, I remember when we launched, we had complete, just absurd euphoria. And I mean, everyone was partying with their pants off. That's a take from Sami. And it was insane. And then we went through our own bear market because we had not experienced the bear market yet. And remember, guys, All those people locked up their hex into the sacrifice address, and that hex did not experience the bear market. So this was, you can't avoid the natural market cycles. You can't avoid nature. So when it came out, it went through its cycle: euphoria, complacency, denial, anxiety, panic. This was all the SEC stuff. That makes perfect sense. Complete capitulation, anger because we're just running sideways. Nobody's building. Everyone's a scammer. That's what we're hearing. And then a very nice run up before the Bitcoin run up. I want to point this out again. This was before the Bitcoin run up, and we did like a 2x. We literally front run the Bitcoin run up. And what did Bitcoin do? Like maybe 30%, 40%? I don't know. It's only up a 2 or 3x from its very bottom, over the course of a year. But we front run that Bitcoin run up, and look at this. What happened is when we were topping out here, Bitcoin started running up. So what's going to happen? All the plebs and even the whales, there's whales that are plebs, guys. They paper handed their Richard Hart tokens because they went into Bitcoin, and they went into Ethereum because they think Ethereum is going to pump next. And we are in that depression phase, and you can tell on Twitter we are in this phase. But I want to point something else out to you guys. Here's the bottom: capitulation, lower high, lower high. This is going to end up being a lower high, guys. Even if we come down a little more, this is going to be a lower high.
A higher low, right?
A higher low. I'm sorry. Higher low. I'm not the TA guy. The higher low, right? But this creates, I do know this creates excellent market structure. Excellent market structure. And look where it's trending. It's trending up and to the right. I think around Christmas, or maybe it's a little after Christmas, maybe it'll be a New Year's present, we might be in this disbelief stage. That's what I think. I could be wrong. I'm just a dude in the internet. Go buy stocks and bonds. Follow your financial advisor. But yeah, I mean, I think we could be here at the end of the year or somewhere early in Q1. And I think around the halving or after the halving, that's when this ecosystem is really going to freaking take off. Because even in the last market cycle, Hex did not peak until after the second, I think it was the second top of Bitcoin, or it might have been right before the second top of Bitcoin, but it was that second top of Bitcoin where Hex got the most action, not on the original top of Bitcoin. So like, something to point out, you guys are all freaking out over Twitter. You're still in the depression phase, but man, I'm watching these charts. I'm seeing good market strength. We're seeing bearish or bullish divergence in building versus price charts. Guys, it's a matter of time before this thing gets into disbelief. And I tell you what, once we hit disbelief, you better hold on to your pants because they're going to come flying off, because that's when we're going to rock it, okay? That's when we're going to rock it. And how do I know that we're also kind of pulling out of this bear market? Because Sami showed his face. Guys, is Sami's face an AI bot? Please tell me in chats. I would love to know your opinion on that. I love that he's actually on there and doing a show with his face. I love Sami. He's one of my favorite influencers. And yeah, those are my thoughts, man, right there. I love that chart. So if you guys know who did that, give him credit in the chat there. I saw it on Twitter. I snagged it, and I was like, man, they explained it down to a T on how I feel and how the community feels.
And even with the, even with the dip yesterday, we can zoom in here. You still have, the market structures held. Even if you count this wick down here, it's still a higher low. So, low, higher low, higher low, another higher low right here.
And you're not supposed to count the wicks.
Sure. Well, depending upon who you talk to. Sure.
Yeah.
So, but that's what I'm saying is even if you do count it, it's still higher low than back here.
Of course.
So we're holding structure. That's looking good. Question is like you're saying, Corey, many people don't count the wicks. So you look at something like PHEX, the market structure here is less strong. Now, I'm not a TA guy. You guys feel free to correct us in the comments if you are such a person. But you can see, this wick goes clear down.
I can't see it, Dane.
Oh, hold on.
Maybe try refresh. Oh,
yeah. There we go. Now you can see, right?
But there's still higher lows there.
Well, that's what I'm saying. As long as if you don't count this wick, it got eaten
Okay.
up last night. In fact, we were on our private call with our group, and one of our members was like, "Oh, I've got to go," and he was buying. A bunch of our guys were buying the dip last night. One of the prices that you pay for being early and more decoupled from the other existing stuff is the volatility is going to be different than the volatility for everything else. So right now you're seeing the big
Agreed.
blue chip stuff, that's bonded and really thick liquidity with Ethereum and with Bitcoin. You're seeing that stuff all rise. You're seeing ADA up. You're seeing, Quant up. You're seeing, Matic. You're seeing all of this stuff up. But what you have to understand is that's the price we pay for being early, and that's the opportunity right now. You want to buy the things that are cheap, and you want to leave the things that are running, you want to leave them alone. In fact, I'll go ahead.
Yeah.
And even if you're looking like, let me share this one.
And I guarantee that red candle there, Dane, that you have even on this chart, that red candle is people chasing green candles in other places.
Sure.
AKA Titan X, AKA, like you said, Matic, AKA Cardano, AKA what's some other Caspa, right?
Solana,
AKA there's a lot Solana, AKA yeah. And that's what they're doing. They chase green candles. And that's just that's your normal retail, plebbery right there, man.
Yeah. And even if you come and look like, XRP, negative almost 12% the last 30 days. Solana, 57%, 30 days. ADA, 26% in 30 days. Doge, 34. AVAX had a nice run, almost about a double in the last 30 days. But these moves, like in crypto terms, like this is nothing. A double, in 30 days, 34%, 26%. When our stuff is, those things ran up 20 or 30%, where a lot of our stuff is down, in the last 30 days, 20 to 40% on the main, on the big boys in the RH ecosystem. That's nothing. That goes away in an instant. And so, like, I think it's different if everything else is up at 10x and we're only going down, like that's different. But the difference right now, this is the price you pay for not being bonded in liquidity to the big stuff, because our stuff hasn't been around for a super long period of time. And it also speaks to the opportunity where you buy things that are cheap so that when they run, you're the one that captures the upside instead of buying things that are more expensive.
Yep. Agreed. So, I mean, I've never been more bullish in my entire life on any ecosystem. I'm super pumped to be here. I'm actually going to put a little bit some more new money in down here in this depression phase, and we'll see what happens. That's how confident I am where we're at in this ecosystem. So, okay, so back on another note, is the Sami videos, is that AI?
I saw. Okay, so here's what somebody's take was, and I was paying attention to this. So they posted a clip of Sami, and they're like, "He never blinks. It's AI."
I saw that.
And so I went back and watched it. That's not true. He was blinking, like he might.
Yeah, and he's in all his new videos. He's showing himself now, and he's blinking and doing. He's acting like a normal human being. So I'm always looking. I watch almost all his videos. In fact, sure. I did a 4-mile run this morning. Now I wasn't watching him, but I was listening to him this morning when I did my run. But even when I was running, when I would bring my phone up to try to see when he was talking. And I mean, it feels like he is the real human.
It looks real. I mean,
I
with all that deep fake stuff out there, who freaking knows?
Yeah. We just don't know these days. What the heck? I mean, I guess, somebody. Remember when I posted the picture of me and Hulk Hogan on Twitter?
Yeah. Define normal human being.
Define normal human being. Yeah. None of us are normal. That's for damn sure.
Not if you're here now.
Yeah. Somebody had ran my picture through an AI checker, and they messaged me on Twitter, and they're like, "Hey, I just ran your picture through an AI checker. It's real. How did you talk to Hulk Hogan?"
Oh, really? That's
yeah. So if you guys, maybe I'll go back and message that dude who ran my picture through this AI checker. You guys know how to do that, or does anyone know how to verify? There's got to be ways that we can run that to some kind of test and see if it's a real human being, right? There's got to be a way. There has to be a way. There has to be an AI detector that's run by AI that can detect other AI, right? You would think, right? Come on, there's got to be something out there.
Right.
You guys are all crypto guys. Come on, figure this shit out. Let's
Yeah.
let's get to the root of it. I told him he needs to post his fluffy slippers on his next live video before I believe anything.
I like it. I like it.
But he had one dude where he had his orange juice. He was showing his orange
I
juice,
saw that.
and he was taking his cubes, and the cubes were hex. They were hex shape. He was like, "Dude, it's so good. Like, it's got me more hooked again." And he does these little things. I remember when he before he didn't used to play music in his videos, and now he's been playing music for like the last like probably 2 months in his videos, and it re-hooked me into his videos again because he'd be like, "Yeah, let's pump it up," and he'd play the techno music, and and then now he's showing his face. I told him I messaged him on YouTube. I was like, "Hey, bro, when you live stream your first time, you better come on me and Dane's show."
We'll have him. We'll have to have him. Well, and I mean, I think there's levels to this. Honestly, I think it's a good time to start showing his face after he's built up the following that he has. The bull markets, more and more people are paying attention. It's wild. It's really interesting to see sentiment starting to shift, where you're seeing people and the crowds that we're talking to that are noticing, oh, did you see Bitcoin up over 40K? Did you see XRP running a little bit? Did you see Doge? Like, you're starting to see a lot of that. And so, like, it's good. It's interesting, and we're still early. You still have the opportunity, kind of like Drew said up here. Let me grab that. T-Share Tuesday, you have an opportunity to buy cheap assets still. These opportunities won't be here forever, and we have to just wait our turn. And I'm really comfortable waiting our turn, because I think when our turn comes, I think it'll be explosive. I really do.
Agreed. All the lettuce hands will be gone, and new money will be coming in, and at least new money will hold for a little while. They'll end up being lettuce hands too, but everyone ends up being a lettuce hand at one point in time or another in their crypto journey.
Sure.
It's the matter of like, how long do you wait?
Yep. Joe hopes that that price action is better by the end of Q1. And honestly, like, I've pushed mine out, my hopes out to Q2. I think there's plenty more washing to be had. I think we'll see Bitcoin, like, I would be surprised if we saw Bitcoin, closer to break 50K into the 50K range, leading into the
down to 30,
and then have a dip. Exactly.
And have a massive dip. Yep. And that's going to take an effect on the whole space. It's just how it goes. And now, I mean, my opinion, Joe, I think Q1 will be somewhere near back to SAC price. That's sure. I think
I wouldn't be surprised at all by that.
In like Q1, yeah, but it still don't mean that we're not going to have like some quick crash flashes, and then like, the volatility's in the game, guys. It's just like
right. We gotta ride the wave.
This is crypto, man. And I mean, even our buddy yesterday, he's like, "Damn it, I didn't want to buy again. Crap." He's like, "Guys, stop forcing me to buy." Meaning, stop freaking selling. Stop with the volatility, but it's always going to be there.
Right. These are pretty good takes. Yeah, I would generally agree with these ideas. Water Above told us that we'd be down at this time. Sami's been warning us, but Sami now says we're about 2 months before we see light. Waters Above is saying 2024 year of the dragon will be up. Yeah.
Also, is Waters Above now saying that the RH ecosystem is going to come back to life? Because there for a while he was like, "Oh, I wouldn't touch that stuff with a 10-foot pole." Like, maybe he meant in the short term. I guess he could have meant in the short term.
He's been a freaking right in that respect. Like, he shouldn't have touched any of it, until
sure. Yeah. I mean, I should have been all in Bitcoin.
I mean, right.
Been in Bitcoin for the whole year. For the whole entire year, I should have been in Bitcoin, and now I should be dollar cost averaging into the stuff I like. It's funny because I remember in one of the crypto masterminds I was in a year ago, that was their strategy. They're like, we want to go into Bitcoin first, and we're going to hold in Bitcoin, for about a year or so, and then we're going to start dollar cost averaging into our altcoins. And I remember, it was a lesson learned. I'm like, maybe that's something I should have done. I should have went into because it's always the first mover. It's like it's clear as day that Bitcoin. Now, you're not going to make like your mad gains, but we got a 3x on our money while everyone else is getting wrecked. and then we could have DCA'd into the stuff we like here at the bottom. I don't know. There's something to be said about that.
Well, and to give you perspective, in fact, let's look. So over the last year, I mean, it would have been better to be in like Solana.
Well, those are alts though, and you just didn't know, like, Bitcoin's going to run up going into the halving year.
In
Like,
fact, the only good sized alt, I guess we could.
All I'm saying is, like, you could use Bitcoin
Solana
as your stable coin. You're not going to use Solana as your stable coin. That's what you go into for your high risk.
I mean, Solana has a big enough market cap at this point. Like you're not wrong. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I wouldn't go Solana as a stable coin. Sure. The VC's dumping on everybody, and
that would have been the play. Like
it could have been, yeah. In hindsight,
exactly.
In hindsight, but
beyond that, yeah, like nothing.
Bitcoin's going to run from its bottom. When we hit the $15,000 bottom, like we know, and everyone called the bottom. Even a lot of our smart guys here in Puerto Rico called the bottom. Like that would have been the time to put our whole holdings in Bitcoin and just sat on our hands and used it like a stable coin to dollar cost average in to the rest of the stuff that we love.
Sure.
I don't know. It was a play that the mastermind I was in last year was talking about.
Sure.
And because that's what happened every other cycle. That's what happened. History never repeats, but it tends to rhyme.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. So just it was a lesson learned for me.
Yeah, I like it. Philip says, my friend texted me this morning telling me to buy Dojo. We already near the top. I'm using my friends and family that have no interest in crypto as like my tell. The guys that have no interest, that still don't want to talk about it. When those guys are consistently saying like, hey, is it time to get in? That's going to be the sell signal. It's like, but it sells, like, in fact, I was thinking about that. This weekend when we were at the event. Like people generally need to see, like they need to see things 7 or more times before they're a buyer. And so that's where, like with crypto, price up, they see it, price up more, they see it, price up more, they see it. And finally they're like, okay, now I'm a believer. And unfortunately in the markets, like that's the opposite of the way to actually make money. And so that's how I'm looking at it.
And be like, come back next cycle. That's your turn.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. This is a good comment, Corey. What's the RH Max website where he has all the links?
It's a good one. Go Real DeFi. Go Real DeFi. I think it's GoRealDeFi.com or
yeah, you're right.
GoRealDeFi.com. Yeah, I'm glad he did that. It packs everything into one place.
Yeah. So if you're having a hard time, accessing the bridge and things like that, that's the cool thing with DeFi and with decentralization is, like people build new front ends. They have different ways to be able to access the stuff. It's like a virus in a good way. You can't get rid of it unless you turn the internet off. So if you come here, you can come and access all the things that you may want to. So, like we can click on Hex.
There she is.
It pops right over to the original Hex front end. You can come and let's do the bridge, for instance. We share this tab. Oh, it's loading. Maybe not.
Just a white. Are you seeing a white screen on your ending?
Yeah, it's just white.
Yeah, that's what I see.
Yeah. We can go to here's Pultex, like the Pultex website.
We can't see it. We can't see it.
Let me pull it up. I had to stop sharing. But here's Pultex from the Launchpad. Like this is showing just fine. So that's been a really good front end that I've been liking. Once again, it is GoRealDeFi.com. Double check that you're in the right place. You don't get scammed. But yes. GoRealDeFi.com, and you should be able to access just about anything that you want from there. The other thing is like, I don't know about you guys, but I haven't needed to use the bridge in a long time because I've been using OX Coast. That's been really a pleasant experience.
Yep.
So, go check out those guys. I think there's certainly something to be said about needing a consistent bridge that can work, because we need the money from the ETH guys to be able to roll over. And here's the thing, I'm telling you guys, one of the biggest marketing tactics that Richard used last bull run for Hex is you would see Hex pump when Bitcoin and ETH fell. You would see it run. And I think that that's the same.
He loves that.
Yeah, it's the same marketing plan, for this run, in my opinion.
He
You see
loves
our down right now. You'll see the other stuff correct, and now it's our turn. I think not every time. It's not a perfect science, but I think you're going to see a lot of that because it's freaking great marketing. Like Bitcoin's down, but we're the ones that are pumping. Don't you want to come over and check out our stuff? That was Richard's stick the whole last bull run. So history doesn't repeat, but it rhymes. And that's part of the playbook still, in my opinion. I think
I agree 100%.
Yep.
I love that.
Yep. So take a breather. You're going to be fine. Everything's going to be cool. Feel free to, you can always diversify your portfolio outside of, where you're at. If you're feeling weak, you're not feeling real confident about how your bags are built, I think it's totally fine to take a step back and say, how do I want to position myself? I definitely would not be selling out of my RH stuff, but I don't think it's crazy to consider, bringing new money in and maybe going some other places just to diversify yourself if that's something you felt like you needed to do.
Yeah, it's your money. I like this comment here. Will Power City release cause another dip? I'm going to say yes. Reaction from holders. People will argue and X about that as well. Yeah, it's well games, man. If you look at the chart, Power City or Liquid Loans launched right at our last local top. And as soon as we launched, everyone goes open up, millions of dollars worth of pulse and vaults. And then what happens? Poof, the whales dump and liquidate. There was a lot of liquidations. And what happens when you have a liquidation, it force sells the pulse that's in the vaults. And so you have these, it's like a cascade event or like a snowball effect. Once those start liquidating, then the price drops even further. So it's good to the upside and good to the downside, or good to the downside, but like it's just as equally as how, strong to the downside as it is strong to the upside when you have these leverage type protocols. So yeah, that was probably part of the red candles we saw. Some whales playing around and going, watch this, boom, and then once the vaults start liquidating, it's like it's a self.
Well, you also consider how liquidity is bonded, so almost all of this stuff launches and it's immediately bonded to Pulse. Every effing protocol just about that raised a ton of money has effed us in the short term because they launch, they get bonded in liquidity to Pulse, and then everybody wants to go sell their tokens. And since they're bonded to Pulse, it brings the price down. The nice thing about where we're at right now is Power City is, I think it's the last one to launch that raised a meaningful amount of money. If I'm not mistaken, if you can think of some else, Corey, say the word. But other than that, this is the last one that we need to see launch before I'm not going to swear today. I'm feeling pretty charged up about this. Every one of these MFers that raised a ton of money, they've F'd the chart. They've F'd the chart because everyone's selling all their stupid coins and they get bonded in liquidity to Pulse. So we've got to sit through this nightmare where all the retards were sacrificing for everything back in the day. Now we pay the price. Facts. That's what it is. And so this is part of the washing machine. Power City will launch. Once again, I hope everybody does great in the long term, but it's going to screw us in the short. So hopefully, I think that's the last one with meaningful amounts of money that will be bonded to Pulse, largely PulseX. We're going to have Seymour down, opportunity to buy when they launch, in my opinion. And then hopefully we can do enough rinsing to be able to go up. We need to be patient with how we're doing this. And I thought this was a really good take. Where did it go? Oh, yeah, Jim, I think you freaking nailed it. I'm not playing for I'm not playing for January. I'm playing for a year.
Yeah.
I think we're going to be in a very different place a year from now. And, we're here for it.
Absolutely.
Super Snake's jumping in here and and claiming that, yeah, apparently liquid loan liquidation events do not force the sell puts. Redemptions are processed through the stability pool and do not market sell puts.
He's right.
Okay.
He's
Okay.
right about that. Yep. Thanks for correcting me, Super Steak. I will admit my wrongdoing there. That's right. It goes through the stability pool when that event happens.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. If you want to find the price for loan, I just been finding it on Deck Screener.
Yeah, Screener. Yep. I use it for everything.
Yeah, you can go find it on Deck Screener. All this stuff has sucked out of the gate if they raised a bunch of money, and everyone's bitching on Twitter about it with the loan token. What'd you expect? Like, the data's been out for months now. Anything that raised a meaningful amount, welcome to the dumpathon. And there's probably going to be limited liquidity. There's not going to be an opportunity to get large, meaningful amounts out, and it's going to dump and dump and dump until it finds a bottom. And note to self: never sacrifice for anything ever again. Lessons have been learned. B-Roots freaking nailed it. Like, I'm so annoyed with my. Thankfully, I didn't participate. Well, I participated in the Pulse X sacrifice. What a great decision that was. But B-Roots freaking nailed it, where he said this is essentially like the 2017 ICOs, where everybody was raising money, and most of the money, like, most people didn't see a return on capital. They lost money. And that's what all the sacrifice craze was. Good for those guys. Good for those guys that did a sacrifice and got a bunch of money, like, good for you. The rest of us, we've got to be patient. And I think a year from now, we'll be in a just fine position if you're holding good things.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Absolutely. We are running out of time today. I've got to jump off. I don't know, Corey, if you want to stick around and talk about Act 60 and some of that stuff, but I've got to jump off to go shoot some content for some of the stuff that we're pushing out.
Yeah, I got to get off here too. Go ahead and jump off. I'll answer this question though. So
cool, guys. Have a good one. Appreciate you.
See you, Nate.
See ya.
How or who did you Act 60 process? So I have an attorney out here. If you're thinking about coming out here to do the Act 60 process, let me know, and I'll put you in touch with the attorney I use. It's a guy named Roberto. He's absolutely excellent doing the process. He created the Act 60 for me, and then he also created me the Import Tax LLC, which is where you're running the money that you make, maybe in the United States, and you run that money through Puerto Rico, and then that's a 4% flat tax on any of that money. And then the Act 60, of course, protects you in your capital gains, where when you sell anything you sell and your portfolio is tax-free. So, but reach out to me if you really are interested in moving here. Obviously, he's an attorney, so there's a cost for the Act 60. I think he was $2,500 plus you got to pay an additional I think it was $10K to the country of Puerto Rico to do the Act 60. And then if you want the LLC, that was another, if I'm not mistaken, another 8K, 6 or 8K. He set that up. And so, so it's something to think about. If you really are interested, definitely let me know and I can put you in contact with him. And so, Crypto Compassion, what's up, my man? Long time no see or talk to. Hope everything is okay. What's up, Finbear? So if 90% people are long and price moons forever, how can a decentralized protocol pay all the longs that consistently win? Well, technically it can't unless more liquidity kept flooding into the protocol. But even when we were at the event and Dylan was at the event with us, and it's funny because maybe this is where it came from. Maybe it wasn't so much from liquid loans. We were looking at Famous when we were there, and Famous had a 100% long rate on the protocol. There was no shorts. And so this was before the big, cascading red candles that we just saw. So I wiped out all those longs, and the PHLP holders are winning right now inside of the FAME protocol. So, traders typically are 90% wrong. And so that's what you got to rely on in the long run, that the liquidity should be built up more and more. And it's been doing a good job so far. at building liquidity in the long run here. So that way, when we're coming into a full bull run, there's, multiple millions of dollars in there to be traded against. And still, traders usually get it wrong. Corey, how or who did you actually say? Yeah, so I have an attorney out here I can refer you to. I got his contact information from my friend who is out here, and he's a Hexagon. He's actually was in day one Ethereum, so he's got some pretty large bags. But I got his contact from him, and this guy's excellent. He's an excellent attorney. So if you're really serious about coming out here and moving here and doing Act 60. Like I said, it does cost, the attorney fees, plus you got to pay the state of Puerto Rico. And that's going to be multiple thousands of dollars to do it. But, right now is a time to do it. If you really believe in crypto as a whole, and you think we are going to see number go up on all of our assets here the next year or two, well, you need to come out here while your portfolio is down, because you need to make the gains while you're out in Puerto Rico. If you make the gains while you're in the States, it does you no good to move here on the top of the bull run, because you still have to pay taxes if you sell, because you made those gains over on the mainland. So keep that in mind. If it's something you want to do, you'd want to do it right now, or rather quickly. And if you were serious about it, let me know. Come out and visit first, though. I would recommend that, because some people come out here and they just can't stand it. I love it out here. I love the Caribbean. I love the island. I love the people. I love that I'm here with a bunch of other crypto people, which is really cool. But come out and visit. Come out and hang out for a month. Bring the family. See if it's a place that you can live at. Come out here, get your hair cut. Go out to eat. Go grocery shopping. The normal stuff that you do in your everyday life at home, come out here and do it, and see if it's something that you really want to do before just moving your family to a whole new country. So, what's up, Philip? SAC is synonymous with FOMO, in my opinion. Yeah, I agree. That's why most people do SAC. That's why I SAC, because I felt the FOMO. I wish I didn't SAC for the majority of my protocols that I SAC for. Unfortunately, the liquid loans I did SAC for, but I did the 2-year lockup. Who knows? Maybe that'll end up saving me in the long run, but I'm not counting on it. So, may I ask how much all that is? Yeah, so I think I covered it, but yeah, you're going to pay the attorney like $2,500 to file the Act 60 paperwork. Then you have to pay the country of Puerto Rico another $10,000 to file the paperwork. I think it might be 5 here and 5 to the U.S. I can't remember what the exact who you're paying, but it ended up costing me an additional 10. And then if you want the LLC, the lawyer has to set that up, which is between $6,000 and $8,000 is what it cost me. Yeah, absolutely, man. Red Squirrel, oi, what's up, my man? What's up? We got Tin Top. What's up, Hats Kids? Tin Top. I'll be back in AZ Town at the end of the year. Going back to Arizona for Christmas. Be out there for a couple months. Be a good time. Was there no AI project on Pulse Chain? We've had a few. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Motion Mark and his Kira project. Problem with Motion Mark is he does nothing but FUD and be negative on Twitter all day long. So I don't give him much attention, because he hates RH, and he's obviously a Hexagon from back in the day, but he hates the ecosystem now. But he launched Kira on Pulse Chain, which is just one of those AI generator images, that you can generate images through, and it has a coin attached. And so that launched on Pulse Chain. I'm not sure if there's anywhere else on Pulse Chain or not, but yeah. So, all right, guys. Well, I'm going to hop off. It's been an absolute blessing to check in with you guys. We should be on for the remainder of the week. We got super swamped in this last event. We're onboarding a lot of people into Pulse Chain when we go speak at these events, and we're talking about crypto and we're onboarding them. This is where we onboard them to, is into the Pulse Chain ecosystem, into the assets that we love, that we like, and that we're investing in. And so, yeah, we're here for it, and we want to be here for the legacy wealth gains with all you guys. So we appreciate all you for coming on and watching our show, and you guys make the show. So hopefully we'll be here for the rest of the week, and Friday should be open mic day. So please come on Friday, rap with us, whether it's about crypto, whether it's about real estate, whatever it may be. But guys, have a good, see ya. Peace.